Good evening again, everybody. It is Charlie here, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone's had a great Tuesday so far, as always. It is time for another installment of Bite-Size Leeds on the channel. All the latest goings on in the wonderful world of Leeds United Football Club. Just before we get into it, as always, please smash that like button. It really does help get the video out there and get more eyes on the channel. Please subscribe as well. We all know that I'm on the road to 3,000. If you could do me a solid, hit that subscribe button, that would be brilliant. Hit that notification bell so that you're always aware of when I'm uploading and going live. Live streams will be returning over the weekend, guys, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. And of course, get all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. So then, what has been happening today then? So it's basically all focused around the managerial hunt for Leeds United today, as a report was released by Phil Hay at The Athletic, where he just gave us a little bit of an insight into what's been going on behind the scenes regarding the managerial hunt. Face-to-face interviews have been taking place in London with Angus Kinnear and Parag Marath from the San Francisco 49ers. Where obviously they've been conducting the interviews for the managerial position at Ellen Road. Now, an interesting one just regarding Carlos Corberán. Apparently, no approach has been made to West Bromwich Albion as of yet, as he is still under contract with them. He does have a release clause believed to be in the region of around £2 million, but no approach has been made, so that they've kind of ruled him out at this stage, which is interesting, as I did feel that Corberán would have been quite a main candidate, really. It does seem now that the three leading candidates are the fellas that are on the thumbnail, as you can see: Daniel Farke, Scott Parker, and a new name that's kind of been thrown into the mix a little bit more today, Patrick Vieira, formerly of Crystal Palace. Now, look, I've given my opinion on Daniel Farke. I've given my opinion on Scott Parker as well. Now, Patrick Vieira is a weird one for me. I'm going to say no to that one. I don't think I would want him. I think it would be quite a bad appointment. Now, I get why people may think it's a good appointment. His tenure at Crystal Palace did get off to a very good start. He had a very good first season with them. But in the season just gone, he very much got found out. And if Palace hadn't have made the change at the time that they did, they could have been in serious bother of going down. I don't think they'd have gone down, but they would have been very much in that relegation battle if it hadn't have been for them sacking Patrick Vieira. I think his tactics got found out. I think his personnel, his team selections were very questionable. He was leaving out the likes of Elise and Eze at points, and they ended up being the two best players that they had towards the end of the season. We all know that too well from that 5-1 humbling at Ellen Road from them. So yeah, Patrick Vieira for me is in a similar mold to like Steven Gerrard, in which, very, very good former footballers. But as managers, they've just not quite hit the ground running. The fact that Vieira's first big job was in the Premier League, you know, maybe he should have started in the Championship. It's just I wouldn't. But I've made my opinions very clear on Scott Parker, in that I wouldn't want him. But if it came down to Scott Parker and Patrick Vieira, I would rather have Scott Parker, just for the simple fact that Parker's got 2 promotions under his belt. Patrick Vieira's not got any promotions under his belt. He's got a mediocre tenure at Crystal Palace under his belt, which would not fill me with confidence at all going into a Championship season. Scott Parker then, obviously, as Leicester announced the appointment of City's assistant, Scott Parker is now very much in the mix and a name that they have interviewed. As I say, out of the options that we've got, I wouldn't be choosing Scott Parker. However, if it came to it and he was appointed, I wouldn't be overly angry about it. Like I just said, the guy's got 2 promotions under his belts with 2 different clubs, um, which would give me confidence going into the Championship. In the Premier League, I'm not so sure. Maybe if Scott Parker was backed in the Premier League, he could do a better job than what he did with Fulham and what he did with Bournemouth towards at the start of last season. But the main guy for me, who I would want, as I have already said, is Daniel Farke. I really do believe he could be the one that gets us out of the Championship, albeit, you know, Leeds would need to get the recruitment right as well. But providing all that went well, yeah, I would have Daniel Farke, and I do believe as well that if he was fully backed in the Premier League after getting us up, that I think he could do a very good job in the Premier League as well. As I've said a few times on this channel before, one of the transfer windows he had after getting Norwich promoted, they spent £10 million, 9 or £10 million. That's just, you might as well have just relegated them straight away. I'm not saying that Norwich would have necessarily stayed up if they'd have spent more, but they'd have had a much better chance. They were doomed in that window, and I do thoroughly believe that if Leeds got promoted, that the 49ers would pump a load of money into us to make sure that we sustain ourselves as a Premier League club for a longer period the next time, hopefully. Um, so yeah, I'm hoping that they can at least get Daniel Farke over the line. And hopefully, this new era can get off to a very positive start. Just a very brief little bit of transfer news that I saw just before starting this recording, guys. It is an outgoing, and it's Rodrigo. Obviously, Victor Orta has been appointed as the Sevilla director of football today, which is laughable. I don't know how he's managed to get in at a club of that stature. The most Europa League wins, a very decent side in La Liga, and he's managed to get the job there. And ironically, it looks like his first signing there is going to be a left back, which, come on, it's like he's just sticking 2 fingers up at the Leeds United fan base in doing that. But it is what it is. He's gone. But it looks like Victor Orta is going to acquire Rodrigo, as it is rumoured that Sevilla are very much interested in Rodrigo, given Leeds United's relegation. Victor Orta will be fully aware of the clauses in Rodrigo's contract, so he'll know how to navigate that deal. Would make sense for Rodrigo. In fairness, he's 32 years old. He's just got into the Spain squad and won the Nations League, and he may want to return home for his last few years of his career. So it would make sense. It'd just be ironic that it'd be Victor Orta bringing him to Sevilla. But yeah, that's all I've got, guys, on this installment of Bite Size Leeds. I really hope that you've all enjoyed it as always. If you have, please smash a like on the video. As I said, it really does help get the video out there. Please subscribe to the channel if you are brand new. Hit that notification bell, and of course, get all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And go and check out the membership feature that I've introduced onto the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you.